So today we arrived at church and the parking lot was jam-packed. And I was like, what? How is it so crowded? And then I realize the clock's changed. And even though my alarm went off on my phone at the correct time, I was still looking at the clock that's in my room, and that's just a regular clock. And I was like, oh, we have to go. But my alarm actually went off an hour early because I like to have time. Yeah, I got confused. We rushed out of the house, so now we have like an hour to waste. And normally I would get mad. But I didn't get mad this time. And I was actually more relieved because I was afraid we would miss church, that I would arrive an hour late. But instead, we're an hour early, which is okay because I got to record 2 missing chunks for 2 other videos because my mic died and I had to re-record it. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just re-record it here in the car. And now we're just waiting and we'll see. Maybe we'll go on a walk. I'm not sure, but let me know if this has ever happened to you. This is why I hate changing this clock situation, this daylight savings time. I think it's dumb. I think it's so dumb. Just leave the clocks alone. It's confusing for people. And it takes me a long time to adjust because my mind is still thinking it's 9 o'clock. But it's 10. But it's really 9. So we're constantly being like robbed and then given back. Robbed and given back. This dumb illusion. Apparently we're too stupid to just wake up an hour later or earlier. We're too stupid to just follow the sun. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now is actually a really good time to read some Bible. You know? God gave us some extra time, why not use it? Okay, so of course something interesting happened because I arrived too early to church. The whole parking lot's full, so I'm actually parked on the street waiting for the service to end because we have 2 services. I'm waiting for cars to leave so then I could go park in the actual parking lot. And I see a car park right in front of me and I thought, oh, he also must have gotten his clocks all confused and he's here early. That was what I thought. And then I see him get out of the car. It's like an older man. And I'm thinking he's going to come ask me about the time or something, right? And something in me just knew. I just knew that this was supposed to happen. He comes up to me and he asks me, do you speak Spanish? And I said, no. But somehow his English was actually pretty good. And he says, can you help me? And I said, sure. And he shows me an address on his phone. He's like, do you know how to get there? And I look at it and I'm like, oh, well, this is in Oceanside, so it's way that way. And he goes, can you put it on a map? And I said, sure. Do you have a map app? So he finds a map app. He actually already typed everything in. He did everything correctly himself. And I just clicked like the start button. And he's like, oh, he goes, can I hear her or whatever? And I was like, well, let's check your volume. So I upped his volume and I could hear her talking. And I go, that's it, you're good to go. He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's the way to go. I was like, just keep going that way and then she'll tell you where to go after that. And he was like, thank you. And he got in this truck and he left. And I just thought, so I wanted to make this video. Well, I started making the video about the time, but I wanted to add to this video because this is how God works. I know some people say this was a coincidence. I know, but then I guess this video is not for you. But God will send people to help his people, if that makes sense. God knows you're gonna get lost. You're not gonna know where to go. Don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna wake one of my people up early. I'm gonna get them all confused with the clocks. I'm gonna make sure they park on this street. You're gonna run into them and they're gonna help you. That is how God works. And that is just one small example. And when you are attuned in to God and how he works, this kind of stuff is going to happen to you all the time. Not only is God going to send you helpers, he's going to use you to help other people as long as you're open to it. I was open to it. I was ready for this guy to come talk to me. I was ready. My window was down. I immediately looked him in the eyes. Normally, I would avoid eye contact and I would go park somewhere in a ditch where nobody would bother me. Or I could have turned around and said, we're going to go back home and go do something else. But I just felt like, no, we're going to stay here and just wait or read the Bible. I'm going to use this time because I just don't think that this was an accident. There are not that many people that arrived late that I'm seeing. Like it's just like I saw 1 or 2 cars and then they left. I don't know if they were late or early or if they just needed to make a U-turn. I don't know. But I just wanted to make this video for those of you who are maybe new to God. And I know, like in the past, I used to believe in the universe, and I would believe the universe would do that kind of stuff. Well, I don't believe the universe in itself has any power. It's not a person. And everything that I ever believed that the universe was doing, that was either God doing it or Satan doing it. And that just depends what the outcome was. And so I just want to come on here. Let me know if you were also confused by the clocks, if you ended up going somewhere late or early. And I hope this message helped someone and to remind you to just like trust God, because He'll send you helpers, and be open to Him using you as well to help other people. God bless.